Good afternoon and welcome to this webinar as part of Atlas Africa's program. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. This is a special webinar hosted by Karen Harris and her students at the University of Pretoria. I'm just doing a very quick introduction. My name's Tara Duncan and I'm the chair of Atlas. Atlas is an organisation focusing on tourism and leisure research and education. It's an organisation that's almost 30 years old. We have chapters in Africa, Asia, Oceania and Latin America, and a number of special interest groups that are growing as well. This year, obviously, we haven't been able to host our annual conference or any of the other events that we normally do. So instead, we've been offering a number of webinars, and this is one of them. And I'd just like to say thank you to the 90 plus registrations we've had from over 14 different countries. So I hope you'll all find this webinar really, really interesting. So the University of Pretoria have a unique and specialised postgraduate degree in heritage and cultural tourism. And as part of that, they have a unique experiential learning component about tour guiding. Obviously, this year has caused all sorts of upset. Instead, what they've done is some unique and innovative ideas, which they're going to present to us now. So I'd like to hand over to Karen and her students in Pretoria, say thank you very much and good luck with the seminar. Really looking forward to hearing what you all have to say.
Thank you so very much, Tara. We really do appreciate it here from the bottom end of Africa. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over to my splendid 2020 UP Campus Tour students who, as you quite correctly said, are the honours students, the fourth year students who, as part of one of their modules, run the entity UP Campus Tours. But as I say, I would like to hand over to them to tell you their story and what COVID-19 has meant for them in the present and going forward. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for the opportunity.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Atlas webinar, hosted by Atlas in partnership with the University of Pretoria. In this webinar, we'll be looking at before, during, and after COVID-19. So the COVID-19 pandemic has had a huge impact on tourism, not only locally, but also internationally. With the borders closing and travel and planes being on the ground, it meant that tourism industry was very much negatively affected. And these are some of the things we'll be looking at. Now, the crushing impact of COVID-19 on international tourism meant that African continent was one of the top 3 most affected by the coronavirus when it came to tourism industry. This meant that a revenue of about $1 trillion was lost because of the COVID-19 pandemic, not only in Africa, but this meant that this was the amount of money which was lost worldwide. So we're trying to look at ways that we can actually move forward, as well as try to see what difference we can make in making up for the money which we've already lost. Now, on the 30th of April 2020, UNWTO already had an webinar actually looking at the impact of tourism on the African continent, showing how much of an impact COVID has had, not only on us, but on international level and on Africa as a whole. Now, when we look at Africa, Africa lost about 150 billion euros when it came to travel. This meant that so much revenue was lost by the African continent, all just because of the tourism industry. So we want to actually bring it back closer to home, to South Africa, where we know that even though the COVID-19 pandemic didn't only affect tourism, but there were lives lost as well because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, because the pandemic meant that there's no travel which could take place, it meant that the University of Pretoria campus tour also known as UPCT, was affected very much negatively because we could no longer take our visitors to see our beautiful campus. Now, when we bring it to home, to the University of Pretoria, which is actually one of the biggest, of the largest research universities in South Africa, it meant for us as the university, which is located in Pretoria, the capital city of South Africa, it meant that campus tours could no longer actually operate as we used to operate before. Now, the University of Pretoria has such a vast history. That is why it is so easy for us to actually take people on tours on the campus. The university was founded in 1908 in this building that you see, Kaya Rosa, where it actually started off with 32 students and 4 lecturers. And now we have grown into a big, extensive university in South Africa, where in 2019, we had an estimated of 53,000 students which were actually enrolled at the university, registered as well. Now, the University of Pretoria has around 250,000 alumni, showing you how the university has grown from 1908 till present times. We have 9 faculties. The Faculty of Humanities, which we as University of Pretoria Campus Tour belong to. We have the Faculty of Law. We have the Faculty of Engineering. We have Natural and Agricultural Sciences. We have Economic and Management Sciences. We have Theology, Education, Health Sciences, as well as Veterinary Sciences. Now, this is a larger overview of our campus, showing you the beautifulness of our campus and as well as the growth of our campus. Now, the Faculty of Humanities, as I mentioned, which we belong to, is one of the largest faculties actually in the university. I now hand over to my colleague Nusret, who's going to tell you more about the University of Pretoria campus tours.
Thank you, Jabu. My name is Nusret, and today I will be telling you about University of Pretoria campus tours as an academic discipline at the University of Pretoria, as well as the birth of campus tours before COVID-19 struck. It was only in the last 2 decades or so that the social sciences had been taught as tourism at the South African universities. The University of Pretoria introduced heritage and cultural tourism in 1998 as a collaboration between the Department of History and the Department of Archaeology and Anthropology. Heritage and cultural tourism is comprised of core modules from heritage and cultural tourism studies, social sciences, and tourism management and entrepreneur skills from the EMS faculty. The trans-faculty and transdisciplinary of the module reflects on the multifaceted nature of the tourism industry. After heritage cultural tourism was introduced at an undergrad level, it was necessary to introduce it at a postgraduate level. The honors module in heritage cultural tourism, at which we are enrolled in, comprises of 4 core modules and 1 elective. The 4 core modules are Heritage and Cultural Tourism, Theory and Methodology, which is EFK 754, which focuses on theory and methodologies, which focuses on research methodologies, current research in the faculty, and tourism research prospects. We also then have EFK 758, which is Managing Tourism, which is where tourism management and economic, cultural, and environmental sustainability is taught. We also have the research report, which is a mini dissertation, where students are to specify a research topic, and they need to develop a question and do an independent research study. We also have EFK 752, which is the trends in heritage and cultural tourism. This is a practical application of heritage and cultural tourism, where both theoretical and practical components. We also have them to apply an elective. The elective can be from across the board, something that interests the student, anything from history to languages. The EFK 752 module proposes of both practical and theoretical components. It seeks to bridge the academia with the industry of tourism. The module was created in context of experiential learning through the experience of practice. The module is designed to bridge the gap between academia and the tourism industry by combining both theoretical and practical aspects. The idea was to create a module that could compare with technicons where the students are vocationally ready and market ready. The function of the module is to teach learners theory and have them apply it in a practice in a real life environment, which equates to job experience. It is in a sense a real life internship where the students are doing the work themselves and it amounts to a year worth of experience. So the question is, what does University of Pretoria Campus Tours, or UPCT for short, do? UPCT is the practical component of the EFK 752 module, in which the EFK 75 students take people on a small tour operation around the university Hatfield main campus. The students are trained by the lecturer, former UPCT students. Hatfield campus is a viable tourist attraction because it is a delimited area and a pedestrian campus which is safe to walk in. The campus boasts several historical buildings, 2 national monuments, a kaleidoscope of architectural styles ranging for over a century, a number of artworks, and an exquisite natural environment with a range of gardens. The University of Pretoria Campus Tours offers 4 essential tours. We have our basic tours, which we present an overview of the history of the University of Pretoria, as well as they outline our different facilities. We also have our scientific tour where we show you our scientific edge by taking you on a tour of our science-related faculties, our Scienza, which is an interactive science center, and our world-class laboratories. We also have a cultural tour that is available where we show you our artifacts and art collections dating back to the pre-colonial time right up until modern day period, including artworks, artifacts, statues, and a large collection of our ceramics, which are available from all over the world. And we also show you an array of our architectural styles. We also have our botanical tours where we show you our green campus, which is one of the world's top green campuses. We also make a combination of any of these tours. Like I have mentioned before, our tours are customized to our clientele. Our clientele include a wide variety of people. We include some of these people, our school groups, prospective students, parents, first years, alumni, international dignitaries, visitors, as well as academic staff and administrative staff. The Javed UP Art Center is the largest university-based art center in Africa. The Javed opened its doors in 2019. Javed seeks to make the art more accessible to the public and to bridge the gap between art and academia. UPCT and Javed have had a collaborative arrangement. UPCT guides are trained as facilitators of Javed. UPCT guides are more than just tour guides. We have an office, which you can see the view from where the Turkish flags are waving, at which we run operational daily tasks from. All tour guides must conduct tours, man the phone, do bookings, do office hours, work with finances, contribute to marketing, and plan a themed event. UP motto is inspiring learners to take initiative. That's why we go beyond just running a business. Essentially, every year, the new group of honors that take place start up the business from scratch. We start off by learning on lectures how to run UPCT, how to devise a business plan. We also collaborate with the museum staff who tell us about the collections available on the UP campus. We also learn from various stakeholders in the university as to how to treat their clients and what do they expect from us. We then go to build a knowledge base of our product, which is the University of Pretoria. It begins with research in the university archives, which you can see in the picture, and keeping up, working with the university web and keeping up with the latest developments. We are required to do in-depth research to obtain information so that we present our clients with inspiring narratives. After this induction, we then have draw up a business plan allocating portfolios to each member of the team. Every year the portfolios change, but some years the teams are prevalent that remain throughout. Some years the themes are prevalent that remain. These themes that are prevalent are finances, administration, events, human resources, and public. The students must also develop an idea to organize a university-related event. From University of Pretoria campus tours, a number of skills I learned, both personal and professional skills I learned. We have skills such as confidence, the ability to lead a group and provide them with a memorable experience, be it an ambassador or a group of primary school children. We also have public relations, the ability to work with a range of people from the university, but also to our guests and to each other, the ability to network with other people. We also have marketing, how to learn and promote and sell one's product, which in this case is the university. We also have finance skills, which build around working with finance, including budgeting, spending, and receiving money as these tours are paid for. We also have time management skills, which as a student means being punctual and prepared. We also have problem-solving skills, which include everything from being prepared for the weather to difficult demands to unscheduled tours. It's all about being innovative, creative, and adaptive. We also have organizational and administrative skills, and we also have team building skills. I will now hand over to my colleague Nompilo, who will highlight some of the events and achievements of UPCT over the last decade and a half. Nompilo, over to you.
Okay, as Nez has indicated, UPCT therefore gives the honor students exposure to a range of skills required in the tourism industry. So it can be in the administrative skills, time management skills, and communication skills. As students, we are guided, we are monitored within the physical perimeters of our campus, but we are also given real world experiences. So part of UPCT, based besides the running of the campus tour as a tourist operation on campus, we are also expected to go merely offering tours to guests, prospective students, exchange students, new academic staff, international guests, and different academic students. We are also expected to be innovative and present new ideas, develop an event or something that's going to be inspirational to other people. Each event is created based on a theme. So each year there's a theme for the year which students need to do a tour or event around that. So we are also encouraged to be very creative and innovative. We're also required to think outside the box, be creative, brainstorm ideas as a team. This is a very useful skill and leads to innovation and teamwork. Here are some of the examples of innovation that has taken place amongst our honors group over the past decade and a half. First up, we have the Walk Back in Time. This is a historical event where students would walk back in time and tracing back over 100 years of history of the University of Pretoria through walking around the campus using historical buildings as attractions. Students also did their research so that they can create a very interesting narrative. They were also dressed in different historical dresses just to symbolize that particular period. The next innovation element is the board game that was created by past honors students. This is the world's first, the university board game, and was resoundingly successful. It challenges players in terms of their knowledge and history and heritage of the university while taking a tour around the board game of the UP campus. This particular board game won an award in the category of campaign and internal communication. One of the events also, we had a reunion where you meet past UPCT honors students. This is a great platform for them to be interactive, for us to create a networking strategy where we can understand what the UPCT initiative at University of Pretoria has created an important element to them in the working environment. It is also an opportunity for them to share experiences and share how the UPCT has assisted them in the world itself. One of the other events is the treasure hunt and the scavenger hunt. Many UPCT years, we have organized treasure hunts on campus so as to make the tour more fun for children and more interactive for different age groups. They still do these tours as part of the curriculum, but there's an element of fun to it to keep things very interesting and alert. Another thing, we had the Green Tour. So the Green Tour happened in 2015. This is where University of Pretoria has been recognized as the top university in terms of green university in the world and has a very beautiful campus. This is where you also find Millennium students taking pictures in those sceneries, taking video vlogs and so on. Also, the Green Tour had students working out special tours across campus, design, invitations, posters, advertisements, the tour, and collect payments and see everything is in order for the day in terms of safety and access. The tour concluded in early morning guide tours across the rainwater harvest, the botanical gardens, and a selection of unique trees on campus, a brown bag, healthy breakfast, and a gift in the form of indigenous plants, seeds to guests so that they can plant in their own gardens. UPCT honors students also participate and assist in terms of functions within the University of Pretoria, where they can interact with guests and share their knowledge about the campus. They also often chaperone various dignitaries. We had another work back in time where we're celebrating the centenary of the Faculty of Humanities. One of the other charity organization or activities that we did is during Mandela Day. Mandela Day is where the country celebrates Mandela Day, 67 minutes of Mandela Day. So this is an initiative where Mandela fought for for social justice for 67 years. Another initiative that we did is the UP Museum Month, which we had selfies competition around campus. So to give you more information, Cindy and Naz is going to present to you.
Thank you, Nompilo. So yes, my name is Cindy, and this is my colleague Siobhan, and we'll be speaking about UP campus tours in 2020. As my colleague Naz had already mentioned, it is important to know the requirements needed in order to get into this program. For students to qualify for the honors program in heritage and cultural tourism, 30 students should have passed the HCT major with at least an upper second and have attained their undergraduate degree. The two images I have displayed are the study guides for EFK 752. This is the module Heritage and Cultural Tourism in Practice. The theme focus of the 2020 module was to be on the two university faculties that were celebrating their centenary, namely the Faculty of Economic and Management Sciences and the Faculty of Veterinary Sciences. As in the past, UP Campus Tours was to be very involved in these celebrations. The team was very optimistic about this, and in working with the different faculty advisors, we had many events planned for the year regarding these centenaries. However, things did not quite go to plan, and so the study guide was adapted to suit the year that we have come to know. Our year and the first semester actually started on the 3rd of February 2020, and we finally got to meet each other and our lecturers for the module, Professor Harris and Ms. Herselman. This was also the first time in a while where the team consisted of only women. Girl power. Aside from getting orientated with the module, on the 10th of February, the first major event that we were invited to and attended was the academic opening address by our Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Tawana Kupe, and the much anticipated 112th birthday celebration of the university. For most of us, this was the first time we were being invited to such a large-scale university event and was something that we were really looking forward to. All throughout February, we had meetings and classes to prepare us for the tour aspects of the module. For training, we did archival research and data collection of the different faculties and buildings in the UP archives, prepared many presentations, shadowed tours, and did mock tours with a former campus tours team member to prepare us. By March, we were almost fully prepared to take on the project ourselves. We had received our customized t-shirts by the UP Enterprises, which is an entity that organizes interaction and initiatives between the university and private and public sectors, including entrepreneurial ventures. The CEO of Enterprises actually said that UPCT was one of the most entrepreneurial initiatives at the university. Apart from starting to take prospective students on tours, our biggest test was doing campus tours for the Javet UP Arts Center. Groups of about 500 school learners were scheduled to tour around the Arts Center, and UPCT was also in helping take these groups on tours on campus on a rotational basis. For most of us, this was the first time we were taking a group, and it was quite daunting. However, as soon as we started these tours, it felt like second nature. COVID-19 was an illness that was looming on the world, and on the 5th of March, South Africa had its first confirmed case. This caused a stir throughout the country and put many into panic mode, including students and staff at the university. On the 16th of March, after much deliberation, the UP executive officially closed the university, asking that all stay at home indefinitely. This was an unexpected turn of events, and everything we had planned had to be postponed or cancelled. On the 27th of March, our president, Cyril Ramaphosa, announced that the whole country goes into level 5 lockdown, which meant that no one was to leave their homes except for essential services. After over a month of no action from the students' perspectives, the university officially started the second term on the 4th of May. So we had our first online class. Online classes was the new normal and did take some adjusting to, since we just lost the physical interactions that we did take for granted with contact classes. Since we did not want this module to go to a complete waste, our professor advised that we had to come up with a new initiative to keep this business going. Virtual tours are not a foreign concept, but this year, more so than ever, was the first time to take full advantage of that. The university's website already does have 360-degree virtual tours, but that was not enough. Many are familiar with the Louvre Museum in Paris doing virtual tours, but ours does come with an edge. After many meetings of blood, sweat, and tears, and many trial and errors coming up with a suitable logo, we finally came up with UP Virtual Campus Tours Interactive, or UPVCT Interactive for short. This entails a human element that the virtual tours on the website lacked by using the Zoom platform and PowerPoint presentations to conduct these tours for prospective students and their families. A family would be in the safety of their home, anywhere in the country, and we as a tourist guide would be in our own home, and we would be able to offer these interactive virtual tours. We also charge for these customized, individualized tours, as we are still expected to run as a business. In previous years, the general campus tours often only focus on the buildings on our main campus, where most of the faculties are situated, with brief overviews of these faculties. However, with this online platform, we decided to have faculty-specific tours, customized to our clients' liking. We started using booking forms to record all the necessary details and to avoid long chains of emails. And once we have confirmed bookings, clients are then invited to a Zoom session where they are able to interact with their tourist guide and ask questions in real time about the specific degree that they are going to be studying, or about a specific aspect or feature at the university that they want a tour of.
Right. Alrighty, so I'll be talking about Junior Tucky. So Junior Tucky is a program that was established to assist grade 9 all the way through to grade 12 learners in making responsible study and career choices. They offer for grade 9 learners an opportunity to participate in certain Junior Tucky enrichment programs, which allow them to also become Junior Tucky club members in the grade 10 year. They also assist in developing important skills, which assist these learners and students to better equip them to help them face the challenges they will come across during their personal as well as their professional capacity. They also provide, amongst others, a wide variety of services to learners and students, such as first-hand information on study and career options, developing leadership qualities, life skills, study skills, and also an opportunity to engage in community projects and much more. So just before the launch of UPVCT, we came into discussion with the director himself of Junior Tucky to collaborate with him regarding doing virtual tours for Junior Tucky school groups as well as members of the Junior Tucky Club. And so through this collaboration, we were able to be invited to participate in none other than the EBIT Week for 2020. So EBIT Week is a 4-day holiday program, which is presented by the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology for students from grade 10 all the way through to grade 12. So these prospective students are offered a hands-on opportunity to obtain information regarding all the disciplines offered in the School of Engineering, Built Environment, and the School of Information Technology. During the events, learners are also introduced to the practical as well as the theoretical aspects in order to help them make responsible and sound career choices. As part of the program, these learners also obtain industry exposure on-site and off-campus. So early in August, UPVCT took to the virtual stage alongside the engineering faculty members for the first time for a virtual EBIT Week, which accommodated 500 prospective engineering students. The event progressed with such great ease that UPVCT received overwhelmingly positive feedback that the Dean himself commented. I would like to place on record my sincerest thanks to the team for putting together this creative and fascinating virtual tour offering to our prospective EBIT students. As our faculty motto is, innovating our tomorrow, the UPVCT team lived up to this motto of being really innovative. Well done.
After a slow start for the virtual tours, we had to get our name out there, and so we did a bit of marketing and collaborated with Tux FM. Tux FM is the university's successful radio station, which has won Best Campus Radio Station for 5 years consecutively. In September, we liaised with Tux FM and did a promo video responding to students' questions posted through the radio station on campus to advertise ourselves. As previously mentioned, the Javid UP Art Center is the biggest on-campus art gallery in Southern Africa and one of the most pristine art centers in Africa. To further our work experience, we were offered the opportunity to attend training to be facilitators. In August and September, we did online training sessions with the director of the center, and in October, we attended a training session in the gallery itself. Feeling prepared, we finally had our final practical exam tour on the 6th of November so that we could obtain our certificates to be Javid UP Art Center facilitators. In September, it was announced that the country would go down to level 1 lockdown, and so UPVCT was given special permission from the executive to access campus to do physical tours once again. When the country reached level 1 lockdown in October, it was the perfect time to start these physical tours as well as continue with the virtual tours.
Right. So with the initiation of level 1 lockdown, we were able to initiate a form of physical tours, which what we call bubble tours. So this allows tourists to book a tour with us through the use of our online platform, and they can only gain access to the university through the use of a permit which will be provided by the university, and then they still have to participate in the governmental higher health check. However, only small groups of tourists are allowed on campus. At all times, both the tourist and the tourist guide will have to wear a mask and adhere to the social distancing rules. This could potentially be the new normal for UPCT. However, I leave that to my colleague Nolene to take it further. Thank you, Nolene.
Thank you, Cindy and Siobhan, for reminding us of what we lost and what we gained. We are looking at a future. I will be talking about the future of tourism and the future of UPVCT Interactive. We are looking at a future with pandemics. According to predictions, this pandemic and a future with pandemics could cause a general decline in the amount of international flights, especially for tourists that are at a higher health risk, bringing long-term changes to patterns of international movement for both business and pleasure. Tourism is expected to recover more quickly in safe zone countries that handled the pandemic well, but in poorer and developing countries, the tourism industry will be slower to recover. An emphasis has been placed on local tourism instead of international tourism to help the sector recover from the pandemic. Emphasis has also been placed on alternative tourism, therefore smaller niche tourism groups and experiential interests such as rural tourism, spiritual tourism, health tourism, wellness tourism, and also microtourism, which refers to small travel groups. All of these will help with the reopening of the tourism industry. Mass tourism, where large groups of tourists descend on the same tourism destination at the same time of year, is hopefully a thing of the past. Those who are able to offer targeted, personalized offer, which is different from the usual mass proposal, will recover from this pandemic successfully. We are living in a time of major change. We should not rush back into the previous ways. The French philosopher Latour states that we should not rush back into previous modes of production as soon as the virus shows signs of weakening its grip on the world, but that we should take this time to re-evaluate the current modes of production that the world employs and to establish modes of production that are desirable and to exclude that which is undesirable. In the future, we will hopefully see a more sympathetic and redesigned tourism industry. The tourism industry, as well as businesses and events connected to it, need to react to current developments, but the future of the industry will look very different. Future tourist offers need to keep the needs of the market, the operators, and the needs of the consumer in mind. For example, the annual Christmas markets in Vienna are continuing amid strict regulations and a comprehensive preventions concept that was developed with assistance from experts in the sector. They aim to offer people a piece of normalcy during this challenging time. Even though these markets usually cater for a national and international audience, they will probably see a larger number of national tourists this year. New tourist offerings will need to focus on sustainability, working towards reaching the Sustainable Development Goals set out by the United Nations, lessening the tourism industry's impact on climate change, the goal of zero carbon emissions by 2050, achieving a circular economy structure, and taking the needs of the local communities and tourists into account. It could take the global industry 2 to 4 years to recover, depending on multiple factors. And the 5 major obstacles that the industry is facing right now is travel restrictions, slow virus containment, low consumer confidence, a lack of coordinated response among different countries, and economic deterioration. We might be moving towards a post-erratic era. In this era of post-auritism, one can experience, for example, an exhibition in which augmented versions of artworks are seen without experiencing the authentic, distinctive aura, quality, or essence of the works. These innovations can be applied to historic attractions and museums through technological advancements in terms of gamification, augmented reality, immersive theatre, cinema, music, literature, and virtual tours. In these present times, these interactive innovations, and especially virtual tours, make sites more accessible and affordable to people all over the world. It makes the experience safer and more hygienic, as these tourists don't even need to leave their homes to visit these sites. Virtual experiences also preserve pieces of heritage from anthropogenic influences. We will now discuss the future of UPCT. As mentioned earlier, in October this year, South Africa moved to level 1 of lockdown, and we were allowed to offer campus bubble tours. Campus bubble tours on our main campus, we offered to prospective students and their families. These tours consisted of small groups obeying social distancing rules while wearing masks, sanitizing often, and the governmental health check had to be done before the tours could commence. Even though we can now do on-campus tours again, UPVCT Interactive will always be a permanent part of UPCT. The opportunities offered by UPVCT Interactive going forward includes individualized interactive virtual tours where tourgoers can ask questions and receive immediate answers from their tour guides. We can offer virtual tours to classrooms of students all over the country without them having to travel to us. Through this, we have the ability to inspire a new generation of university students about tertiary learning. Therefore, the virtual tours increase accessibility. We can offer physical tours of our Hatfield campus as well as virtual tours of all our other campuses. These virtual tours protect the members of UPCT, and it also protects the tour goers. Junior Tucky, which my colleagues described earlier, collaborated with us to offer virtual interactive tours to their extensive network of prospective students. In conclusion, we can only hope that we as a society are moving towards a new, more positive, adapted normal. When the tourism industry was struggling to make money, we created UPVCT Interactive so that we could still continue. UPCT will never be the same again. COVID-19 put us on a new track towards reaching new heights in the future. As UPCT forms part of a year module, 2021 will bring a new group to take the reins. But our 2020 group had the following to say with regards to the experience we gained.
Presence and confidence.
It gives you wings and teaches you to fly high. It makes you a better version of yourself.
My interest became my passion.
UPCT taught me to think outside of the box and be more creative.
UPCT taught me that circumstances can change, and when you're in a high demand industry such as tourism, you need to be able to think on your feet, be innovative and flexible.
UPCT taught me the value of hard work and that the tourism industry is ever changing and ever innovative.
Thank you very much, ladies. Congratulations on an excellent webinar. I would just like to ask a few questions that arose from the YouTube chat, and you can answer them to the best of your abilities, obviously. The first one being, the person would just like to know, would just like to confirm that this entrepreneurial endeavor, being UPVCT Interactive, did generate an income / profit despite the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, it did. In fact, it was quite profitable, and our collaboration with Junior Tuckies resulted in a profit.
Thank you, awesome. And finally, do you think UPVCT Interactive was an effective way to connect and interact with potential students, parents, and clients across the country or world?
We definitely think so, because it wasn't just about you going on a virtual tour alone. You had the opportunity to actually ask questions. And if there's something that you wanted to know extra, those questions could have been answered for you. Whereas when you go on this tour on your own, you're just hovering around the campus with no idea of what's actually happening. So the virtual interactive side gives you the opportunity to be able to ask questions and to know what is actually happening in and outside of our campus.
Thank you very much, Jabu. And finally, will this immersive environment be a permanent installment going forward in UPCT, even once the pandemic is over?
It will definitely still be part of UPCT. We will train the future groups to keep UPVCT as a part of our legacy as well.
Cool. Thank you very much, ladies. That was all the questions. I'll hand over to Nolene then to conclude.
Okay, just in conclusion, we all believe that tourism has a bright future despite COVID-19. And thank you so much for attending our webinar. We'd also just like to thank Atlas for hosting our webinar on this platform, and we'd specifically like to thank Dr. Duncan, Mr. Bueta, Ms. Leontine, and Ms. Yanti. Thank you so much.